Hello students, good afternoon and welcome to our math class. In today's lesson, we'll be continuing with another aspect of taking a measurement. And today, we will be looking at an area. Okay, so assuming you are in your room and you want to describe how big your room is, it means that you are thinking about the area, that means the space of your room. And how do you calculate or how do you find the area of this room space or classroom space that you have? It could also be an area on a space or a surface of your table. Of course, you can also look for the area of that surface of your table. So first we need to understand what an area is. The area is the amount of space covered. That means if you are looking for the area of your room, it means you are looking for the area, the amount of space that is within, covered in your room. If you are looking for an area of your classroom, it's the same thing. If you are looking for the area of your 2D shape, it means the space, okay? So in here is the space of this particular shape. So we'll take this as a rectangle. And in every four or quadrilateral figure, it's having the length and then it has the width, okay? This width can also be called the breadth. So these are the two things that we'll be using to find the area. And to remind you again, the area is the space that is covered. So the space of these four walls, okay? These four walls is what we're going to look for. First, we need to understand that area is equal to your length times your width. So that's the first thing that we need to understand. If we understand it this way, then it means that if this place is A and here is B, we can also say it is A times B. So this is the formula for looking for an area of any four-sided figure that you deal with. We're going to move to how we can find an area of this rectangle. So we know that this side will be the length and then this side will be that of the width. So if here is A, here is going to be B. So we say that solution. So our 11, we're going to multiply that with 8 and that's going to give us 88, okay? So now we know that this is centimeters and this is centimeters. So what we need to do is that we need to put our centimeters also here. We are multiplying centimeter by centimeter, so that means we'll get a centimeter square. So our actual answer is going to be 88 centimeter square. I hope this is very simple for you to understand, okay? Okay, so let's look at our second example. So in our second example, we have 12 to be that of the length, and then we have 7 also to be the width. That could also be called the breadth. So as we know, we have to multiply our length by the width. So we're going to multiply our 12 by 7, and that is going to give us 84. Okay, don't forget that we are also considering the units of measurement. So the unit of measurement is in centimeters. That means we will have 2 centimeters, okay? Centimeter square. So our final answer is going to be 84 centimeter square. So that will be our final answer. Anytime you are dealing with area, it is all about having your length and then you have that of your width and then you multiply the two together and the answer will be the total area that particular thing is covering. So 88 here is our space covered here, whereas 84 is also the space also covered here. So this is the end of our first video. Your first activity will be posted to you, and then we'll meet in our second video. Hello students, welcome to our second video. Our lesson today has been on area, and it's from unit 15. We have learned that to find an area of a four-sided figure, we need to first look for the length and that of the width, and then we have to multiply the length with the width, and that will give us our area. Okay, so again we say that area is equal to length multiplied by width. Okay, so if our length is A, it means we multiply with B, that is the width. Okay, so the answer will be equal to the area. That will be the answer. Okay, now if you have a square and you are to find the area, what do? Here is the case that we have this square, and we know that the width is 8 centimeters. So how do we know the rest? Okay, what you have to remember is that with square, all sizes are equal. So once all the sides are equal, it means that if you have 8 here, automatically the length is also going to be 8 as well. So this is a square. So we say square. Once it is a square, it is going to be 8 times 8, and that will give us 64. Don't forget that the 8 that you have here is also coming with centimeters. So 2 centimeters is going to give us 64 centimeters square. So that is going to be your final answer, 64 centimeters square. Don't forget your square, because that means you are dealing with an area. Now, when you have a shape that is more than 4 sides, how do you handle this situation? So this, we call it a composite shape. That means you can get 2 shapes out of this shape that we have. So we have to find the area of this composite figure. So you can actually divide this shape into a living room and that of a kitchen. So what we can do is that we can close this end. Okay, so we can close this end. So when we close this end, it means that we can say this is our hall, and then this is our kitchen. So that means we have 2 rooms. So we're going to use labeling. So we label here as A, and then we label here as B. So to find the area, what you need to do is to find the area of A, and then we find the area of B, and then we add the 2 together. Okay, so what you have to know that A is having 3 as the width, and it's having 7 as the length. So we can say that A is equal to 7 times 3, and that will be 21. Okay, so that will give us 21 centimeters square. And then we come to B, we come to B. So in the case of B, because this portion has been taken out, it means that we have taken 3, okay, because the corresponding line or the opposite line is 3. So that means 3 will go off here, and then we'll have 5 here. Okay, so we have 5 there, and then this space the whole of this space here is 7. So that means if here is 4, it means we'll have 3 over here. So we can put 3 here so that we don't get confused. Okay? From here to here is 7. It means from here to here is also 7. And then 4 is already taken out, so which means we have 3. So we multiply here by 3, okay? And that will give us 15. Don't forget we are doing with area, so it's 15 centimeter square. Now we need to add A plus B, okay? So once we need to add A plus B, that will be equal to 21 plus 15, right? And that will be equal to 36 centimeters square. So our final answer for this, the area here, will be equal to 36 centimeters square. That will be our area for the composite drawing. Now, our last example, we have 4 squares. One side is given and we need to find the area of the whole squares. So what we need to do is that we need to find 1, okay? So let's say this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what you need to do is to find the area of 1 square and then you multiply by the number of squares inside. So 1 square will be equal to 2 times 2. Okay? That will be equal to 2 times 2. And that will give us 4 centimeters square. So because we have 4 squares in between, so for all the 4, so 4 squares, we need to multiply our 4 by 4, and that will give us 16. So in all we'll have 16 centimeters square. So that will be the total area for this drawing as well. I hope you have enjoyed this section, going through with an area, and you are now ready for your second activity. In your second activity, I want you to open to your learner's book, pages 86 and that of 87. You are doing questions 1 up to that of 4. I'll see you again on the last video. Hello students, welcome to our final episode on our lesson area. I am quite sure that you have enjoyed your time with me today, but before we go, let's do a quick review of what we have studied today. In today's lesson, we looked at area, and we looked at area, the formula for finding an area, and that is length times that of the width. The width can also be called the breadth. They all mean the same side of your either your rectangle or your square that you'll be dealing with. We also use A and B to label that of our length and that of our width to make our calculation straightforward. Okay, so the formula for finding an area has always been your length times that of your breadth, and that will give you your area. One thing that you have to understand is that your unit of measurement should always be in square unit. That means if you are using centimeter, it's going to be centimeter square. If you are using a meter, it's going to be a meter square. So every unit that you use here should be put in square form. If you are dealing with a square shape and you have just one side of it, it automatically means that the other length or breadth that you don't have is equal to what you have, because we all know that square, all the 4 sides are equal. When we move to a composite drawing, whereby you have a cluster of shapes put together, the best thing that you need to do is to group this cluster of composite drawing that you have. You can put them into kitchens and bedrooms, or you can put them into balcony and living room so that you can easily work with them. You label them to make the identification very easy for you. And then you should always consider that the length that you cut should be deducted from the main length that you work out with, okay? If you have a group of shapes that one area is also known, or you have one side also to know your area, if after you look for the area of one, you need to multiply with the others. In the case that all the spaces or all the lengths are the same, that means you are dealing with a square shape. Then you do that as well. As we have done in our first and second activity, I'm quite convinced that everything has gone down very well with you, and I'd like to say thank you for joining class, and have your homework being posted, and make sure you do them before we meet next week. Goodbye.